At first, everything felt normal. Emily smiled, kissed me goodbye every morning, texted me during lunch breaks. We were planning venues, tasting cakes, laughing over guest lists. It felt like a dream we had both built together. But small things began to shift. She started canceling dinner plans, claiming she was tired from work. Her laughter became quieter, her hugs shorter, her eyes distant. I told myself it was stress, just the chaos of wedding planning. But deep down, something didn't feel right. Her best friend Lauren came over more often. Recently divorced, always bitter, always warning Emily about marriage. They whispered in the kitchen, went out for girls' nights twice a week. She'd come home smelling like cigarettes, and Emily never smoked before. When I asked, she said Lauren had picked up the habit again. Her phone was always face down. Calls ended the moment I entered the room. I caught snippets. Are you really sure? You don't have to go through with anything you don't want. I wanted to ask, but I was scared of the answer. Instead, I bought her flowers and tried to make her laugh again. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Our intimacy faded. Nights together turned into polite kisses and separate sides of the bed. She stopped wearing her ring when she cooked, then when she went out. I told myself it was just nerves. Everyone gets cold feet before a wedding. But it wasn't nerves. It was distance growing quietly between us. One evening, she asked me what would happen if we divorced. Her tone was casual, but her eyes stayed fixed on mine. If we ever split, would I get part of your savings? I froze. That wasn't curiosity. That was calculation. I laughed it off, said we'd never have to worry about that. She smiled, but it felt rehearsed. Every conversation after that had an invisible wall between us. I started waking up earlier, going for runs to clear my head. The silence in the apartment was deafening. Her laughter used to fill every corner. Now it felt like a museum, beautiful but lifeless. My best friend Mark noticed. He said, "Jason's something off. She's not in it anymore." I defended her, told him she was just stressed. But that night, she slept facing the other way, scrolling through her phone. I stared at the ceiling, pretending not to notice. Pretending not to feel the emptiness beside me. The wedding was 8 months away. Our parents had already booked flights. Friends were planning parties, sending gifts, congratulating us. And through it all, Emily smiled for the cameras. But behind that smile, I could see the truth forming like a shadow. Something was slipping away, slowly but surely. I just didn't know that what she was losing wasn't excitement. It was love. It happened on a Friday night. I came home late after closing a huge deal. The lights were dim, the TV was on, but the room felt heavy. Emily sat on the couch, a half-empty glass of wine in her hand. Her eyes were red, mascara smudged, face pale like she hadn't slept. "Hey," I said softly, "you okay?" She didn't look up, just whispered, "We need to talk." Those words never mean anything good. I sat across from her, waiting for whatever storm was coming. She took a deep breath, her fingers shaking around the glass. "I've been thinking about us," she started, "about the engagement." My stomach dropped. "What about it?" I asked, trying to sound calm. Her voice cracked when she spoke. "The proposal was beautiful. You did everything right." She paused, staring at the floor. "But I need to be honest with you." My chest tightened. "About what?" She hesitated, like she was fighting herself. Then she said it. "I only said yes because everyone was watching." The world stopped. Every sound, every light, every heartbeat froze in that moment. I stared at her, hoping I'd misheard. "What did you just say?" Her eyes filled with tears. I panicked. Everyone was starring, your parents, my parents. I didn't know what else to do. I felt like I'd been punched. "You've been wearing my ring for 3 months," I said quietly. "We've been planning a wedding. You let me believe," my voice cracked, "that you wanted this." She nodded slowly, still crying. I wanted to want it. I thought maybe the feelings would come. 3 months of pretending. 3 months of lies. You should have told me right away, I said. You let me spend money, time, everything, for something that wasn't real. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't mean to hurt you. I laughed bitterly. You didn't mean to. You lied to me every single day. She tried to reach for my hand. I pulled away. I do love you, she said quickly. I just don't know if I'm ready for marriage. So you said yes out of pressure, I said. Not love. Her silence was the answer. I stood up. There's nothing left to talk about. Jason, wait, please. We can go to counseling, I just need time. No, I said. You had 3 months. I grabbed my keys and walked out before I said something cruel. The night air hit my face like ice. I drove with no destination, just away. Streetlights blurred through my tears. 4 years of love collapsed in one sentence. When I finally stopped the car, I sat there in silence. The city hummed around me, unaware that my life had just imploded. Her words echoed over and over in my head. I only said yes because everyone was watching. And just like that, the girl I loved turned into a stranger. The next morning, my phone buzzed nonstop. 15 messages from Emily. Apologies, explanations, demands to talk. I didn't answer. I couldn't. I went to the gym, trying to outrun the noise in my head. Every step on the treadmill felt like pounding the past into the ground. When I got home, my friend Mark showed me his phone. Dude, check this out, he said. Emily had posted a long caption on Instagram. Photos of sunsets, quotes about finding yourself, and words like healing and truth. She wrote about how people sometimes need space to rediscover who they are. No names, but everyone knew who she meant. The comments were full of sympathy. You're so strong. Proud of you. You deserve peace. She was painting herself as the victim. The one who needed freedom, not the one who lied. Something inside me snapped. She had turned our pain into her performance. I opened my laptop and scrolled through my files. There it was, the recording. I had recorded our conversation that night. Every word, every pause, every tear. Her voice saying, I only said yes because everyone was watching. I remembered how public she had made everything. The proposal, the photos, the posts. If she could make our love story public, I could make the truth public too. I edited the recording, cut out personal details. Left only the truth. Then I wrote a post. 3 months ago, I proposed to my girlfriend. She said yes. Last night, she told me she only said yes because everyone was watching. I explained everything. The money, the months of lies, the silence. And I ended it with one line. If love is real, it shouldn't depend on an audience. I hit post. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Then I turned off my phone. When I woke up the next morning, the world had exploded. Hundreds of notifications, thousands of comments. The recording had been shared everywhere. People called it Proposalgate. Some said I was brave for speaking the truth. Others called me cruel for exposing her. But the support was overwhelming. You dodged a bullet. She used you. You did the right thing. My parents called, furious for me but proud I stood my ground. Even coworkers reached out, saying they admired my honesty. Then I checked Emily's page. Her comments were on fire. People called her fake, manipulative, heartless. Her business account was flooded with 1-star reviews. A part of me felt sick. I hadn't wanted to destroy her. I just wanted people to know the truth. But once the truth is out, you can't control it. The internet had chosen sides. And for once, it was on mine. I stared at the screen, numb. The world finally knew what she'd done. And yet, all I felt was empty. The story spread faster than I could breathe. News blogs picked it up. Influencers reposted it. Strangers debated it online. My inbox exploded with messages. Some called me brave. Others said I was cruel. But the truth was finally out there, and that mattered to me. Emily's world began to collapse. Her event planning company was bombarded with negative reviews. Clients canceled contracts, afraid of bad publicity. Her name became a hashtag for dishonesty. She said yes for the cameras, trended for days. Lauren, her best friend, tried to defend her on Twitter. She called me manipulative, said I had trapped Emily in a public proposal. But witnesses spoke up. Guests from that night posted videos showing Emily smiling, glowing, not pressured. Even her cousin commented that Emily had always wanted a public moment. The internet tore Lauren apart for lying. People said misery loves company. I didn't reply to any of it. I didn't post more, didn't argue, didn't defend. The truth was enough. Emily's mom called me 2 days later. Her voice trembled when she said my name. "Jason, I'm so sorry for what she did. You didn't deserve that." Hearing that broke me more than any insult online could. Because her mom had always loved me like a son. And now she was apologizing for her daughter. I thanked her and told her I wished things had been different. After that, silence filled the days. Emily disappeared from social media. No new posts, no new stories. But the comments kept growing under my name. People turned my pain into entertainment. Memes, edits, even TikToks reenacting our fight. It was surreal watching strangers act out my heartbreak. At night, I lay awake scrolling through the chaos. Part of me felt vindicated. Part of me felt like I'd unleashed something too big to control. My friend Mark came over with pizza one night. He said, "Man, you're a legend now. Everyone's talking about you." I laughed bitterly. I didn't want fame. I just wanted honesty. He nodded. "Yeah, but honesty online is never clean." He was right. The truth on the internet always comes with blood. A week later, I heard Emily had lost her biggest client. Her company was struggling. She was getting threats from people she'd never met. And even though she caused all this, guilt crept in. I hadn't meant to ruin her. I'd only wanted closure. But the internet doesn't know the meaning of mercy. It feeds on outrage until there's nothing left to chew. Sometimes I scrolled through her old photos. Her smile looked different now. Not the same woman I once loved. I wondered if I'd gone too far. But then I remembered the night she said those words. I only said yes because everyone was watching. And I knew the damage had started long before I posted anything. She broke us first. The world just watched it burn. 3 days later, there was a knock on my door. It was late, close to midnight. When I opened it, Emily stood there, eyes swollen, hair messy, wearing an oversized hoodie. She looked like a ghost of herself. "Jason, please," she whispered. "Can we talk?" I almost closed the door, but something in her voice stopped me. She stepped inside, shaking. "My life is falling apart," she said. "You ruined me." I stayed silent. "You don't understand," she continued. "I'm getting death threats. My company is collapsing." I clenched my jaw. "You mean like how you ruined me? You said yes to a proposal you didn't mean. You lied for 3 months." She started crying harder. I panicked, Jason. I didn't know how to say no in front of everyone. I looked at her, my anger cold and sharp. "You had 3 months to say it privately. You chose not to." "I didn't want to hurt you," she said softly. "I thought maybe I'd change my mind." "Change your mind," I laughed bitterly. "That's not love, Emily, that's convenience." She took a step closer. "Please, I'll do anything. We can fix this. Therapy, counseling, whatever it takes." "There's nothing to fix," I said. "You broke the foundation. The rest doesn't matter." She reached out to touch me, but I stepped back. "Do you even love me?" I asked. "Yes," she said instantly, but her eyes wavered. "Then why did you need an audience to say yes?" She couldn't answer. "Take down the post," she begged. "Please, my boss called me today. I'm losing everything." I shook my head. "You made our engagement public. You turned it into a show. I just finished the story. Her tears kept coming. You don't know what this feels like. I do, I said quietly. It feels like being lied to by the person you trusted most. I'll cut off Lauren, she promised. I'll go to therapy, I'll make it right. It's too late for that, I said. You didn't just make a mistake, you made a choice. For a long moment, she stood there, crying in silence. Then she whispered, please don't hate me. I don't, I said. I just don't love you anymore. Her shoulders shook as she turned toward the door. Before leaving, she looked back one last time. I never wanted to lose you. You lost me the moment you said yes for the wrong reason. When the door closed, I felt the weight of finality. Mark came out from the kitchen, holding a beer. You okay? He asked quietly. No, I said, but I will be. 2 hours later, an email arrived. A cease and desist letter from her lawyer. My attorney read it and laughed. It's useless, he said. The recording is legal. The truth isn't defamation. That night, I deleted her contact, her photos, every trace of her name. The silence afterward felt brutal. But for the first time, it also felt like peace. Weeks passed after that night. The chaos online began to fade, but the echoes stayed. People still shared the post, still debated who was right or wrong. I stopped checking my notifications. The noise had turned into static. My lawyer handled everything, and the cease and desist went nowhere. Colorado law was on my side. The truth couldn't be silenced. I focused on untangling what was left of my life. The apartment lease was under both our names. Emily moved out first, leaving her key on the counter. I bought out her part of the rent just to be done. $10,000 gone, but worth every cent of freedom. The wedding deposits were lost too. $15,000 vanished into nothing. The photographer, the florist, the band, all non-refundable. The ring store, though, took back the engagement ring. They gave me store credit. $18,000 turned into gifts for my family. My mom got a necklace, my dad a vintage watch, my sister a bracelet. At least that money went to people who actually loved me. Friends chose sides. Most supported me, saying I did what anyone would have done. A few thought I went too far. They said I humiliated her publicly. But humiliation wasn't the goal. Truth was, if she hadn't turned our engagement into content, there'd be no story to tell. A reporter reached out wanting to interview me. They said it would be a lesson about modern love. I declined. I didn't want fame, I wanted silence. Still, the article came out anyway. They pieced the story from social media and public posts. The comments were split, half sympathy, half outrage. I learned to stop reading. One night, I got a message from a stranger. He said, "Your story saved me. I almost proposed last week, but she wasn't sure." I stopped. For the first time in months, I smiled. Maybe something good came out of the wreckage. Emily disappeared completely. She deleted her social media, vanished from the internet. Through mutual friends, I heard she lost her job. The company said the drama scared clients away. She was bartending now, taking therapy twice a week. A small part of me pitied her. But another part whispered that this was the consequence of choices. We both paid a price, just in different currencies. I kept working, kept running, kept breathing. Slowly, life felt normal again. My mornings were quiet, my apartment peaceful. Sometimes, I'd see the Ring ad pop up online and feel nothing. That was progress. Mark asked if I'd start dating again. Eventually, I said, but not yet. He laughed and said I was finally learning. Maybe I was. Because love built on performance isn't love at all. And honesty, no matter how ugly, will always be the better ending. 3 months later, I saw her again. A mutual friend's birthday party at a rooftop bar downtown. I almost didn't go, but I was done hiding from the past. She was there, standing near the bar, quieter, smaller somehow. Her hair was tied back, no makeup, no sparkle in her eyes. When she saw me, she hesitated, then walked over slowly. "Hey," she said softly. "How have you been?" "I'm good," I replied. "You?" She smiled faintly. "Trying to be. I'm in therapy now, working on myself." There was no anger in her voice, only regret. "I'm sorry, Jason," she said. "For everything, you deserved better." I nodded. Yeah, I did. For a moment, we stood there in silence, surrounded by laughter we no longer shared. "I hope you find someone who means it when they say yes," she whispered. "I hope you find peace," I said. She smiled again, then turned and walked away. I watched her go but felt nothing. No pain, no anger, no love. Just peace. And in that silence, I realized something simple. When you stop feeling anything at all, that's what real closure feels like.